I guess I could also just unmute myself and talk. So, oh God, I can hear myself multiple times. Um, yeah, so this is how I have my my table set up. Um, and this is just first I'm going to recreate the run environment, and then I'm going to then what am I going to do? Then I'm going to break out. Then I'm going to do some fancy linear estimation, and then I'm going to I don't know what I'm going to do. This is basically just an Excel spreadsheet tutorial, I guess. I don't know. We're doing all this in terms of pictures, so I think this is all in terms of pictures. Do I have a picture caught stealing? I don't have a picture caught stealing. How do I not have a picture caught stealing? I thought I did. Well, that's a mistake. So my old sheet, I had a bunch of macros. I had a bunch of other things. How do I not have? Oh wow, this is bad. Okay. Okay. I thought my speakers were gone deaf. Hi, I want to offer promotion. No, how do I delete you? Um, I can ban him, I think. There, he's gone. Hi, Ozzy. Um, okay, so here I'm just gonna throw in my baseball stats or my batter stats. I'm basically copying this off of my old sheet. So if you want to see how my old sheet worked, it's kind of like this. I ended up a friend of mine was asking how many Excel spreadsheets I have, and I think I have like 600 over the course of the year. Uh, so third base, home runs, stolen base, caught stealing. Oh, I do have. Wait, I do have a stolen base. Oh, I do have pitcher stolen bases. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Well, we'll do. I've already found a few bugs copying this over, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what we get. So I call this. Oh, I don't call this anything. Okay. We'll call this counting. Whatever. It's always good to name your stuff. I think that's probably good. Um, if you do bad modeling, okay. Where am I next? I am now. Here's where the magic happens. We're gonna create run minus, and run minus is. I'll dump this in the chat. This is run mine. Oh no, I can't. I can't dump it in the chat because that's hilarious. Run minus is this. I think that's right. Runs per walks minus runs per intentional walks plus runs per hit batters plus runs per single plus runs per double plus runs per triple plus runs per home run plus runs per stolen base minus runs per caught stealing divided by at bats minus hits minus sac flies. Yeah. Okay. So we're good. We're doing great. We're on great success. So now we do run plus. And run plus is this huge gobbledygook. Okay, and then Woba is Woba number one. There's like 15 Wobas. Hits plus It's plus walks minus intentional walks plus hit by pitch. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. So now that we have this, now we do another table where I call Wolba scale, and then run. Oh, okay. Who's called run Wolba table? This is called run Wolba table. Let's name this table. Run Wolba table. And there's our Wolba scale. There's our, yeah, Wolba scale. Wolba scale. There is our Wolba scale. And then we do Wolba DB. Wolba DB is just copying stuff across. Wolba HP. I just want to recreate each of the individual Wolba coefficients because they differ. And the game uses fixed ones as far as I know. This is triple. So one of the things that I really think that some people are afraid of is macros. Don't be afraid of macros. They're not that bad. Macros are good. Stolen base. So now we have our Wolba coefficients. Wolba caught stealing. So the part that I'm kind of thinking about doing differently. So I have usually another table here, which is a pivot table, which is calculations, and then I kind of, the way I kind of cheat is I we will do something like this, and I think this is kind of neat. So does this work? No. Will the scale will the BB? Will the scale table? Is this will the scale table? Oh no, I didn't name this one. That's why. So if I name this table, then I can come in here, and then that's so the data I'm using here is November's November's Sunday Open data. So yeah, so if you want to know how to generate the Woba, the batting Woba, I guess, then you would do this. But there's a few changes I want to do to this because I want to. One thing I wasn't so previously how I was modeling, I was taking each. Actually, that's another thing. I need the card DB. Card database. So I'm just gonna copy. Okay, what do I copy? I gotta find out where do I stop. I think it's era. Yeah. So let's do that. So this is the latest card database table. It's not formatted as a table, but get there. Game card export. I like that name. Okay, so I think the last column is error. So what I was previously doing is I'll add another table because we have a run environment. I haven't modified it yet. We need to modify it. We have our data. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to summarize the data in a pivot table in a new worksheet. Now, because we don't have splits, and assuming we don't have splits per PT24, what I like to do is I like to generate the observed handedness of pitchers and batters. So that's pretty easy. So I have fixed IP, and then I have throws. So here you can kind of see, I'll just insert this over. So there's 44% left-handed pitchers. Now remember this is back in November. The meta was really different back then. So I like to name these cells. So this would be my left hand pitcher ratio. And then this would be my right hand pitcher ratio. And then if we take this and we duplicate it, and instead of doing innings pitched, we did plate appearances. So do plate appearances, and then instead of throws, we do bats. So similarly, calculate how many left-handed batters, how many right-handed batters, and then how many switch hit batters. So this is going to be more for modeling FIP, which I'll get to eventually. Okay. Okay, what do we do next? So we got this now. Just convert to percent for fancy. Okay, so I did modeling. I sure did do modeling. So previously I would like do something. I'll show you what I was doing. So this would be ratios, I'll call this. So previously I would take the data, summarize it, or yeah. So this run environment function, or this run environment thing, what I would do is I would create a field, come in here, create a field, and say, calc woba, and then where is it? You guys can see that, yeah. Can I change the font here so you guys, let's change the font to 20. Yeah, so this, so take that, and then I would paste this in here. I would add it. We would have it as a table. And then what I would do, I would come in here, actually, data, table, summarize, existing, plop it in the sheet 4 right here. And then I would list by plate appearance, Calquoba, and then something like card ID and title, something like that. So card ID, title. So another thing, which I always kind of didn't know originally, is this report layout. You want to kind of go and just kind of turn off things until it kind of looks better. So do not show subtitles. Report, I think tabular form is what I want. Yeah. So now you get this like nice little view. And if you want to filter, you can come in here and go value filters. Let's do the top 20 in plate appearances. So now we have this and we have this, and I like to throw some conditional formatting on. And then we can come and we can sort in descending order for Calquoba. So I would have this, and then what I would do, is I would do some like fancy kind of lookups. I would effectively create a table of which shows a gap, power, I, AVK, BABIP, and then WOBA, and then just copy it because it's easier. I would do kind of like come in here and instead of B25, we'll do B3. Oops. And I've changed this. This is right-hand picture ratio, and this is left-hand picture ratio. So I would basically do this, and for each of these, and then, okay, so this is contact. This is not what I want, but I think you guys get the idea. So gap, yeah, gap VR, gap VL. I think this is lowercase. Game export. Why do you not like that? Oh, because I forgot to. It's not gap VL. It's gap VR. There we go. So come in here, we'd overwrite these, we copy this across. Now instead of gap, it's power. I think the only one that I don't quite understand is AVK. AVK VL is different than AVK VR. Oh. We'll just do some data massaging. We'll call this Special Edition 2. Wait, no. Oh, it's the card ID. That's what I have to fix. How do I have the same card ID? Man. Oh, I know how to fix this. We'll go here, we'll go here. Oh, I know how to fix this. I know how to fix this. I'm gonna go here. Is this gonna work? If, let's call this 39109. We're gonna call it 139109. Replace. Hopefully that didn't mess up anything. And then we're gonna come here. We're gonna come here. We're gonna refresh. And we're good. Um, so now we're here. We have power. Now we're gonna do I. And then we're gonna do so. It's a lot of kind of a lot of grunt work. But I'm off today, so decided to try to get better at this. Whoops, scrolling the wrong area. We want AVKVR. Yeah, KSVR versus AVKVL, which is kind of weird. Um, because when I tab it, it adds a space naturally. So now we go babips, babips, babips. Bap is good. And then we go, just copy this across. Sure. I think I need to do equals E3. And then we copy this down. And then you can do something fancy and you can say, now we can go and we go to formulas and we go, no, where is it? Data. Go to data analysis. We go to regression. We say regression okay. We say the input Y range is our WOBA. We say our X range is these things. And we go to labels and we output range. We say we want to put this here. And we go to residuals and we say whatever residuals plots, line fit plots, and we go and we plot it and everything's all hunky dory as Excel chugs away. And we get all our plots and we look at this and we say, oh, this is actually a little better. But R squared is 92. Coefficients are good. Well, these are actually better coefficients. I wonder if I did something different. I don't think these are the ones like kind of, I don't know. I guess this kind of matches. So yeah, gap is messed up. But you can kind of say, okay, so if I'm going to predict what the WOBA is, then I'm going to do this. Actually, this is kind of interesting because when I was doing this previously, it was giving me all sorts of nonsense. But I'm going to try these values and see if all this is for naught because these values actually look kind of good. Basically, someone suggested that my open data is wrong because originally my BABIP was all over the place, but we'll see. I think there's just been a bug in my WOBA calculation the entire time. Because yeah, BABIP being positive is good. So come in here now. I'm on a different sheet, just looking at some stuff. So then you'd go in and you would say, yeah, someone's WOBA is going to be the result of all those things. And yeah, this is one way to do it. So old WOBA. So what I had done, league setting model. So we're gonna do some magic. do we want to do this? Okay, so we're gonna need to aggregate some stats, and I think the stats we're gonna want are. So if we go back to this ratios, we want to generate dynamic ratios for the three true outcomes for the batters. So if we go in and call this batting ratios, I'm going to want to summarize the data into batting ratios. And then so we're going to want home run percentage. So calculated field, just call it XB home run percentage. I don't know how to do this properly, but I basically name my calculated fields random values, or like I prepend it with all X, and this is something that kind of Durden recommended. So again, if we go card ID title, and then we want to, limit this by plate appearance. And again, come back here, design, turn off all our subtotals, turn off all our other totals, shift in a tabular form, and, filter on, let's filter on the top 25 by plate appearance. And just for fun, let's sort it descending by home run percentage. So theoretically, I'll show a trick that I kind of learned later. We're gonna have a special guest join shortly. I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to set that up. We'll see. Okay, so we have home run percentage. Now we need. Now we'll need X batters walk percentage, and then this is walks minus intentional walks divided by plate appearances. And then we'll need what do we need? Walks, home runs, Ks, XK, XB, K percentage. And then this is strikeouts divided by plate appearances. And then there's a few more things that I need. Where is this? League. BABIP we have. I think we have. Oh no, BABIP we have to. BABIP? Do I have BABIP? I have league BABIP. That's pitching BABIP, I think. So we need a batter BABIP. Batter BABIP, XB BABIP. So then this would be hits minus home runs divided by. Actually, what is. Hold on. What is league BABIP? Hits allowed. Okay, yeah. So league BABIP I calculated in the context of the pitcher stats. So XB BABIP. No, BABIP is fine. So then this would be hits minus home runs divided by at bats minus home runs. I feel dumb sometimes. Fangraphs. What is the BABIP formula? At bats minus Ks minus home that's minus Ks minus home runs plus sac flies. So we're basically building a table. Really? Ruth's BABIP is 188. That seems kind of low. Oh, I forgot the draft. Oh, hold on. Just a minute. I forgot to draft for my perfect draft teams. Here we can quickly detour to that since yeah. This is okay. This is high noon. Let's go Votto and Gibson. I don't know. Tip O'Neill. There's such bad cards. Pocket. Whitaker. Yeah. Zeller and Jackie. Ooh, the new Dutch Leonard. I'll probably need a catcher. McCarver's okay. I really don't like any of these cards. Hank, Dazzy, Parnell. I feel like this is going to be a waste. Oh, John Smoltz. Yeah, let's get him. He's good. Roll. No, let's turn it rolling. Biggio, backup catcher. 3 second basemen. Man. Can you tell I'm not very good at these? Are you ready for me, Captain? My Captain. Sure. Let me just finish this draft, and then I have to set up the sound source and stuff. But we can do something. Uh, oh. Oh, I'm back. Okay. Just likes to die without warning, which is fun. Kevin Brown, Ted Williams. Well, we have Ted Williams. I guess we're doing Kevin Brown. Global import. My ridiculous slider set. There you go. All ridiculousness all the time. I don't know what I'm doing here. Those look like okay pictures. Although Cliff Lee could probably, yeah, maybe Cliff Lee instead of. We'll just do this, and then this, and then this. And see how many positions I forgot to. Ozzie Smith, Minoso at third. I love it. Votto. Sure. Sure. We'll go with this. Since apparently I forgot my other draft. Oh, I had you muted. Am I talking? Mic test 1 2. Yeah, Daily OTP Era AM. That is a toasted. A toasted. Start voice call. Okay, so I am bringing someone online. I have to bring audio output capture. Uno momento. Desktop capture. I believe I'll be joined by Mr. Kidneys. Would you like to say something, Mr. Kidneys? I can, but it doesn't. The stream is not configured properly. Device.
Import Discord audio, or like just turn on desktop audio and make sure everything else is muted.
It's Ben's birthday!
Yes, it is. Thanks, Mother.
Happy birthday. So I think you're
thank you.
live. I think if you listen, you should hear yourself.
Hello? Yeah, I can. Okay. I might be a little loud. You might want to turn me down.
Okay.
I run hot most of the time.
I will add a gain filter and drop you down.
Yeah, I need one badly.
Put you at -4 dB. Is that good?
On my end, I'm way lower, but I assume you have me turned down in Discord by now. So...
No, I just did it in Streamlabs.
Oh, okay. I like do like -10 on myself, but I also move. I have the mic pushed back right now, so it's probably that. I don't plan on moving it up though. So whatever here is, it's good.
How you have to tell me your own audio levels because I don't know. Is it better now, or do I need to suppress you more?
Well, let me test myself. I sound fine. That's fine. Okay. As long as if I'm running quiet, it's good because you normally run quiet and I normally run loud. So.
Okay, so let's hide this. Okay, so I was just going through the old calculations, and so I basically took everything, mashed it based on the observed handedness, and then did just a regression. And it actually, so I think I have some bugs in my WOBA calculation because this was actually a lot better than what I had in my old sheet.
Yeah, that's a mile better. That's a mile better.
So there's a few bugs that
I
found in the other stuff, but yeah, this is
okay.
R squared of 92.
What's the results look like now then?
Oh, that
like what's the product? That's the important part, right?
Well, it still thinks that Ty Cobb is an above average hitter, but he's.
I mean, as long as he's 7th. On the page, he wasn't on the page before, right? That was definitely incorrect.
He's 7th, but basically what I want to do is I want to go and start doing I want to start doing kind of the other ratio stuff. So I was coming in here.
Like
I was looking
convert the stuff from the base game model to this one, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was looking and whoa, that's not good. I was looking and my BABIP calculation. I have hits minus home runs, at bats minus Ks minus. Oh, because that's minus strikeouts. Is that gonna be better?
Wait, where are you?
There we go.
Which calculation are we on here?
This BABIP one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's much better. That'll do better.
So we have, and then we need. I'm going back to the other sheet. We need extra base hit percentage, and extra base hit percentage is doubles plus. Oh no, I need BIP hits. So XB BIP hits, and so then this is hits minus home runs.
Yep. Yep.
And then we have XB, X base hit percentage, which would be doubles plus triples.
Doubles plus triples over non-home run hits.
XB BIP hits.
Yep.
My model on newer data has Cobb at the bottom of the top 10 hitters VR tournaments are just so homer friendly.
Yeah, that sounds about right. For sure.
I was
Probably
I was way
correct,
off
but,
though.
Yeah, I mean, you had BABIP as a negative marker. I mean, clearly that was wrong, right? So, we
Excel
fix
class.
it.
Nice. Yeah, Excel class. Extra base hit
I mean,
percentage.
the thing is, like, I know the game very well because I play it so much, but Xto knows Excel and math far better than I do. I've been talking about that with someone just yesterday.
So what? Oh no, and then the double percentage. And then okay, so now we go singles, doubles,
You
triples.
do triples of doubles and triples.
Right. So now I need the triple percentage. So XB third base, extra base hits, and this is what? Triples divided by doubles plus triples.
Yes. Yeah. Just triples out of extra base hits.
Okay, so these are all the rates that we're going to predict. Right? Home runs, walks, extra base hits.
Yes, if we're doing Wobo, this is everything we need.
Oh, and then
much.
there's like the stolen base and stuff.
I don't like doing that in Woba anymore because I've kind of figured out how to do it separately. If you want to do that as well, I can show you how to do that. It's a little more complicated, but I think it's pretty reasonable.
So you don't like these coefficients here?
It depends on how you do it. If your goal is to produce war, right?
Yeah.
Which is my goal. You should be doing WSB and not adding the stolen base stuff into WOBA. I guess if your goal is just WOBA, you could put the stolen base stuff in WOBA if you want. But I'm now at the point where I'm making WSB and I'm pretty confident in it, so I'm not adding the stolen base metrics to WOBA anymore. So.
It doesn't really matter. They're getting summed anyways.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it does matter in the sense where it does matter in the sense like if you're not going to war, then you should probably put it in, right? I guess you could do it either way. It's a slightly different result doing WSV versus doing WOBA because you don't use the WOBA version. Like I would use the 0.2 for stolen bases and then the original run CS. I would not use the WOBA version of it, right? It's a little different how things get produced, but
like you don't think the 0.2 runs per stolen base and the 0.515 is correct? Is what you're saying?
No. It is, but do you see how like you have like the actual run values up top, and then you have the slightly adjusted for WOBA values down below, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing WSB, use the actual run values. You don't use the adjusted values.
Oh, I see.
It's like the only significant difference. I don't remember exactly why. I read it all at one point on Tom Tango's blog. If anybody here who is here because they enjoy baseball stats, which I assume would be everybody here, not for drops, go check out Tom Tango's blog. Dude is a monster. He's the guy who invented FIP and WOBA, and he is a living legend. So,
because what I was really gonna do is I was gonna update this string to now include the two WOBA coefficient or the two stolen base coefficients. So that
I would say like if your goal, like if we're not building war in this stream, I would absolutely add them in. Yes, use the WOBA coefficients, add them into the string.
Yeah, like I still don't. Defense to me doesn't matter in tournaments just because the run environment. I subscribe to the Aster, Pow Pow.
Yeah, I mean that's a totally fair thing to do. So yeah, in that case, add it in and then make sure. Yeah, do it. Yeah, you're good.
Because then batting. So now, what I need to go? So basically, I've already calculated all these in like several different. Where is it?
Right.
Several different.
But I guess
spreadsheets.
you would still have to calculate the stolen bases per player here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I have to come in here
I can walk you through that. I can walk you through that.
SB op. I have a calculation already.
Okay, because I do it probably a pretty different way than most people do it.
You don't do walks
Where
plus
I actually
singles.
uh it's walks plus singles. But I use speed to determine how often a runner goes, and then
Oh
stealing
yeah,
is
yeah,
how
yeah, yeah.
successful you are at it, right? I don't think a
Okay,
lot of
that
people
that
do it
that's
that
how I was
exact.
gonna do it.
Yeah,
So
and then do it that way. It's great.
singles, walks,
Um,
and
but
do,
of the yeah, but do it the the denominator is like the times they got to first base, right?
yeah.
So
So
it's not just
I'm calculating all the stolen base opportunities,
right
and
from first base. Basically, you're basically pretending you never steal third or
yeah.
home.
So singles,
Mhm.
walks, and intentional walks, and hit by pitches,
Yep, yep.
and then
Actually, you might be you might. I wonder if you're supposed to take out IBB. I don't remember. IBB is a really weird thing.
oh, because
Taking
if you're
out.
intentionally walked, it's not presumably someone's on
Not
second. So
your
yeah,
choice, but at the same time, the stealing the base is still the skill issue. But you wouldn't have gotten on if they didn't walk you.
yeah,
I can
okay.
double check it if you
No,
want.
I
I have
think
it here
I think I'm
somewhere.
gonna drop uh,
Yeah, I think I would drop it too, just
the
from like
stolen
in
base
general.
plus caught
You pretty
stealing.
much, yeah, yeah, because it's just attempts, and then you regress that to speed, and then it's as simple as stolen base percent as stealing. Um, oh, I will say the way I do it too is very unique. I only regress for stealing percent. I only regress the players who actually successfully steal bases. Um,
We'll get
so
there
I
because
like calculate observe WSB because again out of the parks is wrong, and then I only take the players who like because in that case because it's such a slider dependent thing, right? Like you really want to be taking the good players in that sense, right? Kind
right.
of calculating off that.
So
That's how I do it.
when I've done it when I was doing it from the online league, uh,
Hmm.
I was doing it. I'll filter on stolen base attempts.
Right.
Someone message me. I'm watching Xgo. Oh, you're yeah. Okay, where are we? What are we doing?
Stolen
Who are
bases.
we? Okay. Stolen base attempts. What's the next thing to
Hmm.
do? Next thing to
Stolen
do.
base percent. I was like kind of saying though that the regression I run is only based off the good base dealers and
Yeah.
observe.
So this is just filtering on plate appearances, but I'm gonna when I so basically I'm building up this pivot table to then build the
Regressions off. Yeah.
the regression table. So I'm gonna just pull out of this
Yep.
table.
Right. I was just saying when you make the regression table for stolen bases, you should consider doing a filter on
Yeah.
who you select based on success rate. Right?
Percentage and then
But, this is good. This is basically everything you need to determine offense is right here. It's all here.
Yeah.
So.
Because defense doesn't matter.
Nah, who needs defense, right? That Willie Mays card, he's actually a pretty great bat too. That card's crazy.
He's he's a good bat.
He delivered.
Caught stealing. Okay, we're here. I think this is everything now, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Izadafo has an excellent point, and I haven't tackled this personally, so I don't know how to handle it. But you know how I have like the opponents tab, like, and I run regressions based off the players I think are the best in the data set.
Yeah.
One of his points is that league average hold for right-handed pitchers is way worse than left-handed pitchers. So, like, in theory, like when players are stealing against righties, it's far more beneficial to steal. And you can calculate that based off the meta and stuff. But I don't. Uh, I
Well,
don't.
presumably that's going to show up though, right? In the
Well, there's no
regression.
stolen base split data. You can't have stolen base split data.
No, but like
Exist.
people who like as there's more left-handed pitchers, then you're gonna
Oh well,
steal.
slightly, but I mean,
steal.
it's. I guess it's not as important in the context of a tournament, but like in the context of league, it's very important, right? Because like if you go against righty cheese, you probably want to jack your guys up a little bit most of the time, you know.
Right. Okay, so
Ozzy, it's okay. I am also far too arrogant for my own good, but
Okay.
Defense is pretty valuable in bronze right now, unless you're Rob Deer, and even he plays defense.
So this is where I think things are gonna get kind of crazy.
Yep. Let's
Okay.
go.
So how do I get this data? How do I get this data?
You set a plate appearance minimum of 1,000.
No.
Or you could do what I do. I only take the most played players in the format. Like, I'll say, you have a lot of data here. I might do, like, the top 40 most played players, right?
But hold on a sec. So what I was trying to do, because basically I have all these rates, right? And I need to put them into a table so that I can then filter from that table.
Oh, this isn't a table. You're right.
This
You're
is a pivot
pulling
table.
data right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what I want this data into a table.
I don't know. I don't get this far in Excel, man.
Yeah,
I do all my stuff in one pivot table, and then I run the regressions as formulas pulling from the pivot table, right? So I'm a simple man.
Because the alternative.
Can you make? You can't make a pivot table of a pivot table, right? That's the thing Snailman always complains about.
Yeah. And like the way this worked in my like online league data is that all this data was already kind of aggregated for the so the cheap and easy way. The cheap and easy way, which like I can automate at a different time. So like again, let's say let's take the top 50 in plate appearances. And then we're gonna just cheat and we're gonna take all this and we're going to
you're just gonna hard copy it.
Do
you need to? I mean, you have the top 50 here. Why do you need to have it differently?
Because I want to do X lookups on their ratings, and I'll have that in one table.
Oh, well, I kind of get it. But I just have a formula next to the pivot table that references the CIDs of the players in the table, right? And then comes up with a weighted formula based on the matchup data.
You'll see why.
Yeah. I'm sure you know what you're doing. Yes, XLOOKUP is the modern VLOOKUP that Kidney still does not understand how to use. So.
You'll see. Just a moment. Because what we're gonna do. Right. So I need Power VR. It's just going to be easier to do this, to have it all in one table and then slice it for the regressions.
Right.
I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm gonna be honest, I've never used a slicer,
so lookup value, and then
one thing that will save Excel speed is to do all the regressions in one formula without the column. I've never even thought of doing that as a DAFA.
One thing that will save a logic is to do all the regressions in one formula without the extra column if possible.
He's just saying like run the whole thing in one thing.
Let me set up this power one and we'll see how that works out.
That's a really good thing for me to do later down the road.
Hold on. So I'm looking up card ID and then what do I call my card DB table? It's game card export. Okay, so let's dump this in here. So now Power VR is going to be this is going to be X lookup CID, then game card export card ID, and then game card export power. So we're there, and then we're going to do Power BL. And we're going to copy this, and then do power, and then this is going to be times right-hand picture ratio plus times left-hand picture ratio. Okay, and then we're going to have our regression, batting regression. And then this is where maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. So we're going to dump this in here. Actually, we'll do this. We'll do this here. And then I'm going to do some insane clown posse. Okay. So this is a filter index sequence stuff that I found on the internet, and it somehow does the stuff I want. This is not going to work, but I'm just going to dump this into here. So we need to make this work by calling this batting stats first. Batting stats, and then when we learn Python well enough now. Xto, when are you going to see the light and use Python notebooks for this? Oh my god. It's just easier to share spreadsheets than Python stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing for me too at this point is like I can't hand somebody a Python library and expect them to like use it or put their own data into it. And it'll take me probably 6 months to get anywhere near where I have my Excel sheet up to, so you know. I'll just have to deal with the constant crashes and the terrible lag and all that goodness. So. Dump your final analysis. Yeah, that's what I was. There we go. So this took players with more than 10,000 plate appearances, and then stealing from other stuff. Where is this? Stealing from here. We can do some more stuff. So what is it? Home run percentage per power, and we can do some fancy line. So convert this to a table, or I don't have to convert it to a table. Oh, maybe I can. That'll be easier. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Is this gonna work? I thought you can convert spill range and table. I thought you can convert it to a table. Spill range and table. No. Okay. So this is going to be not that bad. But we're taking a line estimation. Our y value is going to be this. Probably just do that, and then the prediction value is gonna be power, and then oops, how did I do that? I think we take the first value. What is going on? Doesn't like constant b is equal. The formula is missing parameters. Wonderful. I've actually thought about doing that recently where I just take like the perfect league data and hand it to an AI and see what it spits out. It'd be very interesting to me.
Good.
I doubt it would understand baseball well enough to get it right, but it'd be cool.
I think known Ys, the Ys would be the home run percentage. And the known X's would be this. Oh, I see what I'm doing now. Okay. So this is just the linear, but if we were going to plot this out, Kamara, I think you'd be happy to know that I did do some Python this morning. Prepping the data appropriately is 95% of the work. Anyone just dumping all the data? Yes, I tried that, but didn't get very good results. I ran sklearn this morning, and it didn't really give me much better than what I was doing in Excel.
The problem is, I feel like at this point it'd have to be an AI that you like was tuned to understand baseball statistics, right? That would be cool, though. You know. And yeah, Xtoforas is a great point that like Out of the Park is missing so many critical stats to like actually analyze a lot of things. It's really annoying.
It's yeah. Like I feel like WRC is fairly accurate, I would say, but what that means in terms of like runs in a game is not the same.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I mean, there's different assumptions. Like, for example, I think the concept of replacement level in Perfect Team just doesn't exist, right? But, those are things you could teach it, I assume. Base running and fielding are missing. Like, they're pretty much game log crunch. And those are pretty important, right?
So how do I do polynomial line fit? Line est. How to fit?
I have the formula for it. I can send it to you. I don't remember what off the top of my head, but I have it calculated.
Marks, slope, y-intercept, index. Base running is a single number I don't trust at all. Is it log est?
No, it's still linest. You just add like a little.
Oh, is it?
The square thing?
I have to. Yeah.
Like you just up the power on the X thing.
I remember. It's like this caret times 1, 2, something like that. There we go.
Not times. It's like 1, 2. I'm trying to see if you need the 0 in front of it now.
Well, this gives me something.
Hold on, I'll get it for you in a sec. Oh wait, no, it's my pitching thing. Oh yeah, I mean that looks correct.
Because then we go.
Yeah, is it off? But you're also like we have to go off the in-game. What is it? The UBR or BSR number? It's like I have to trust it. I don't really have a choice, and that's unfortunate too. Is that the same? It's the same, right? So it's good. Yeah. You can expand the coefficients in the chart as well if you want.
Yeah, it's not letting me select the. Oh, there it is.
Just. Oh, I see what you're talking about. That's weird.
My Excel is not happy. And then the other thing is
unhappy camper.
I forget how I get the R² value.
I mean, you can show the stats. So at the end of it, you would do like comma blank comma true, and but it's going to overwrite this data below it. So you have to move
you can get around it. You can get around it. Home run.
It'll be
power R², and then you take index, and then you pass in true, and then 3, 1, 97. There we go. Everyone's hunky-dory.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. So it's the same thing.
Okay. Now we can do, what is the other ones? I and BB. BB percentage. We can do all this fancy stuff. And instead we get POW, we get I, BB. Did I not call it I? I don't have it in the table. So I, BR, I, BL, and then
The problem is too, I rock this is like data goes stale with time, right? Like just the way baseball works in general and then out of the park is like, I mean, you could like sim module a bazillion games and import it, and then, but you know, transporting that to other environments is always a little funny.
then what is this? This is right hand pen ratio times I right plus left hand pen ratio times that. We'll go across, and now if we go to our batting regressions, where batting regressions are there, oh, I need to move this over. And then we go BB percent times I, BB percent I, R squared. And then we can just copy stuff across. Except this is not E, this is G, and then this is not A, this is F. We got that, and then G, G, F, F, 97. We're all hunky dory. Sure. So now, what is this? Anything is possible with enough story points. Chimera's talking about.
Oh, you're talking about the bait in the context of the sim module?
No, I think he's talking about software development and
Oh,
and
yeah.
Scrum. Oh,
that would be correct. Yes.
anything is possible. As a software developer,
Well, I mean,
I know anything is
we
possible.
we do that too. I rock this, but it's like that you can't just There's only so much data you can collect over a speed of time.
This is APK.
You would probably just have to play like probably like a bronze quick and pull every single thing.
The part that what I was kind of hoping to do eventually is generate this table. Basically, make those make my line estimation code. This is basically dynamically generate this table, run all the calculations, and then remove the table. Was kind of what I was thinking, which is along the lines more of, I guess, what Chimera is talking about. What is this? Not liking K's VR. There we go. But yeah. Where am I? Avoid KVL. Okay. AVK. Right hand picture ratio times this plus left hand left-hand picture ratio times this. So now we get batting regressions, and then we can do. I think I need another spot.
Be out of the park. I think for something that's like advertised as like a baseball sim engine dream should absolutely have like more in-depth stats because they have the stats to do these things anyway. They just need to give us the whole picture. Like the limitation should not be trying to interpret the performance of a card. You should be able to just see that in the client, right?
Like, you shouldn't have to do this type of thing.
Oh, 100%. Like this should only be usable for new cards, like cards that don't have data, right? That should be the only reason you ever need to do this, you know. Like I should be able to go in a tournament, pull data, and when my Ty Cobb has 2 war, I should know he's worth 2 war, right? Like right now it doesn't mean anything.
So AVK is a little lower, 91%. All right, we need how many more?
I don't really get too caught up in the R squares at this point. What I would do if you're gonna do it this way is make sure you have a graph auto assigned to all of these calculations just to make sure it looks okay. That's an important thing.
I guess this. I can delete this. What's next? All right, anyone else in Thursday Super Crappy Edition? I don't know. What am I in? Something's running. Oh, I am in the Super Happy Special Edition. Okay, Babbitt percentage. And then Babbitt percentage. So I have to change this to be Babbitt percentage. And then Babbitt VO. We're gonna see if I'm getting to the point where I don't think this is worth it.
Alright.
But
Why is it not worth it? You just set it up and then you click a button and it just works.
that's true.
That's the beauty of it, right? Like you just have to do this once theoretically. The only thing I would though encourage is setting up graphs for quality control because every now and then, especially if you're automating curved lines, sometimes they don't come out correct, right? So you just put in your data, you scan the graphs, and you're done if they look good, right?
Why is it giving me? Oh, I messed this up. This is BR. This is. So, what are the other ratings I need? Anyone else on Tuesday Super Happy? Gap, BL. I'll just finish pulling all the data. The alternative is like, I think I've done this in the past where I do the mashup within the data. This is a little different
Oh, like you mash up the ratings in the data
in the
rather than
card
isolating.
database.
Yeah, let's see that.
Because like right now, this is kind of like just a snapshot of the, because I have to take it from because I have to take it from. Oh, I missed this. Yeah, gap VL. Quality control. Right hand picture ratio times gap plus left hand picture ratio times that. And then. Ooh. Where am I? What am I doing? Get distracted. my other model have gap, speed, and stealing, and then we're done. Yeah. So then speed. 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 Oh, it's just called speed. Cool. Speed. Stealing. Stealing. Oops, if I could spell. If I knew what the parameter is called. If I knew how it's in the database. Okay. So now we go back to the batting regressions, and we have BABIP, and we have BABIP now, and we can copy this across, and we can say now this is BABIP percentage divided by BABIP, and then BABIP percentage BABIP R squared, and then this is actually Q and, oh, we just copied it across. Cool. So BABIP is low, which kind of understand.
Yeah, it normally is. Like that's not an
Yeah.
abnormal number
Yeah.
because it's far enough down the chain of things happening. You know, farther down you go, the worse it's going to be most of the time, right? Especially because this isn't a perfect science either, right?
What do I have? Extra base hits. How come I didn't like this? NA. Oh, gap is. Oh. This is gap. Extra base hit percentage. And then gap is 73.
Yeah.
Gap divided by extra hit percentage.
Also, a lot of these
Yeah.
later things, I probably wouldn't do polynomials on all of these.
Yeah, this one I think is better if it's not.
It's probably better to be straight. But also, once you just like set up the graphs on these things, it's pretty straightforward too to see if you want to curve it or leave it straight. You know.
This is 71.
Yeah. What was it before?
71.33.
Oh yeah, leave it straight then.
And then after gap, it's speed and triple percentage. And then so this is now speed and triples. And then I think this is also linear. Yeah, 90%. Bingo, bango, bongo. And then this is now
Yeah, Josh, this is Xto's running. This is open tournament data, right?
yeah, this was November open tournament data.
Yeah, he's setting up regressions, just very similar to how I set up mine on my own sheet and just trying to evaluate some things.
So then this is speed and stolen base ascent. And I think this is linear as well. 64%. Oof.
Yeah, I know. The speed one's always funny. Sometimes that one's really good curved. And on some of these too, it's actually really beneficial to go up to a third degree polynomial, but you really have to have a chart check that one. Because, well, also you have to remember, like, that's a very slider contextual stat, right? which is again why I only take from there the players that have a positive WSB. You could also do it as like you could only take the players that like
then-
actually try to run more than 10% of the time or something is probably what I would do.
Yeah. Yeah, we were going to talk about this. So this is batting stats and then stolen base opportunities greater than whatever 200. That's better.
Oh,
Just 64.
no, it's you probably yeah, but you probably want it to be a percentage rather than just cards with the biggest data set, right? If you could do that somehow. So you have the attempt rate here, right? Or no, you just have attempts. You'd have to make another category. Oh no, that is attempt percent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then just have people who attempt it more than like 5% of the time or something, right? I don't know. To make sure it's people who are actually running, right?
Right. I'm saying people more than 5% of the time. Oh, 5%? So you're saying
Yeah.
like cut off this bottom half?
Yeah, you could even make it 10%. Looks pretty reasonable. Yeah.
So student.
Yeah, I'd probably say like 10% of the time is what I would do.
And then after, this is where it kind of gets a little dicey. What is that? 15, 16?
No, you can't min if stealing isn't greater than 60, I don't think, I rock this. I guess you could, but it's really slider dependent. You just want to make sure you get the people who are
88.
See how much better that is, right? Yeah. And again, we're cherry picking a little bit here, but like it doesn't make sense to do it the other way, I think. So. Also, you see how crazy Ricky is, right? That card's fun.
So then this is steals versus stolen base percentage. So if we go here and we do 26%. Wonderful. So I think, again, we have to contextualize this data a little different. I think I probably
I would. It's really
Probably-
crazy because technically, like the only players that should be running, you really want like an 80-something% clip, right? You can put in the same parameter though. Like I guess the people that are actually trying to steal and see if that looks better.
yeah,
Oh, it
95%.
broke. Why'd it break? Oh, okay.
SB%.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean you could run that. Just make sure it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. So now we have all our parameters.
I mean, I rock this in what format? And it also depends on how much speed they have too. Like the ratio needs to be okay. Yeah, so now you should have everything you need to calculate Wilbur. Right here.
Okay. So let's label these. Call this POW 2, POW 1, POW C, then I2, I1, or, oops. What do I call this? POW 2. Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, that's really, really bad. I rock this. Like 60 steel isn't even good enough to attempt a base in bronze, right? So it doesn't matter if they steal a base, it matters at the success rate. You literally need like an 80% plus clip for it to be worth stealing bases and out of the park. So it is very important you do not let anybody steal who's not. I think in League the number I had is like I think it's like higher than Oscar now for like successful base stealers. I think it's like Carlos Beltran, Ricky Henderson, and Billy Hamilton for like the three guys I had as the average player it was worth for them to steal with. Now, obviously, like if you have good sliders, you probably can get away with a little bit lower, but. Always steal on John Jason. People play Jaso in a cap tour near me? That's weird to me. I mean, he's the best bronze catcher by a mile, but I don't know if I'd play him in cap unless it was like bronze. If it was bronze floor, I guess I would play Jaso. Yeah. How you doing, Mr. Black?
I'm gonna have to cut this short.
He'll
'cause
steal from you. It's fair. It is kind of fair. Yeah. Would you say Exo? Sorry.
I'm gonna have to leave shortly.
Yeah, I actually do too, because I'm going to lunch with my dad, because it is my birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay, so we come in here. This is our no, this is the wrong table. This is the table we want to modify. So the way I like to do this now is I come in here and we predict the home run percentage. And we will call this home run percentage VL. And then we do power 2 times power of power BR, even though I named everything incorrectly. 2 plus power 1 times power BR plus power C and then we have home run percent VL. Copy this across. So now instead of VR we have VL. Copy this down. And then what is this? BB percent BR. And this is I squared times power of I BR 2 plus I1 times I VR plus I constant. We calculate this across, and then we do BB percent BL. And then change this to BL. It is almost cold beer time.
Almost what time? Cold beer time. Oh, man. Classic. I'm actually allergic. Oh, thank you for all the happy birthdays, people. I looked away for a second. I looked back. I forgot I said that. Thanks, everyone.
What are we doing? Power. I'm doing K. No. A void. KVR. K's VR, there we go. 2 plus K1 times KVR. Hate Excel's autocomplete. Plus KC. We're almost there.
Oh. Whenever someone makes the always 5 o'clock joke, I'm such a zoomer. I hear the Overwatch voice line from Cassidy where he goes, "It's high noon somewhere in the world." That's what I hear in my head.
Oh,
So shout out to Matthew Mercer, one of the greatest voice actors of our generation.
Oh boy, KVL.
I know, Mr. Black, but like I'm gonna use the name. Given the reason why they changed it, I'm gonna use the name, right? I know. It took me a second, but yes, Matthew Mercer is absolutely a national treasure. Y'all probably don't know who that is, but if like you've ever watched an animated show or you play a lot of video games, you have absolutely heard his voice doing somebody. It's crazy. His IMDb page is probably bigger than the Out of the Park database. Like, ridiculous, man. Yes, he also did that. He's also one of probably the most famous dungeon master in the world. Runs a very popular show on Twitch called Critical Role. And he's so great for the job too because as he's voicing all the NPCs, he can do any voice in the book, you know. So, and also like on the Critical Role show are like a whole bunch of other super prestigious voice actors like Laura Bailey, other people, right? Who are crazy talented. Oh, even if you watch like dubbed anime, you've heard all these people for sure. So. No, D&D is pretty huge now, Mr. Black. It's awesome. I love D&D. I think it's a really cool thing.
What do I call this? Gap 1? Equals gap 1 times gap VR plus gap. And then extra base hit percentage VL. We're almost there. We're so close.
We're very close right now.
Speed triples. What do I call this? I call this speed triple. And then this isn't, yeah. So speed and triples, yeah. So triple percentage is equal to speed triple times speed plus speed triple constant. Stolen base percentage. Stolen base attacks.
Nerds have inherited the earth. They really have. It's pretty actually
Speed.
in a lot of ways. A lot of ways.
Stolen base percentage is negative. This is perfect. I should probably max this at 0.
Yes, you absolutely. Yeah, just max all the steal stuff at 0. Because, like, obviously, if a player is bad, they can just not steal. Right?
And then stolen base percentage. Stolen base percentage. What did I call it? Steals SB1.
Okay, of all the things Matthew Mercer is known for, when I go to his IMDb page, it says known for Thundercats. I do not feel like that is the proper reference.
Thundercats. Is this right? Speed. Yeah. Okay. So we have all the predicted rates.
Convert it to numbers, make WOBA.
I still need to predict. Right. Okay. So this is where we start doing stuff funky. So home runs per 600. So
yeah,
this
I would also, by the way, it's much easier to just have a little cell somewhere that has 600 in it and then reference the cell 50 billion times. So if you ever wanted to change it, it's a lot easier. I do that a lot depending on tournament context, but
okay, I will do that because I already have the ratios already set up, but I can do that.
Yeah.
Plus 600 times left-hand pitcher ratio times Who is at 18 home runs per 600? Mike Zunino? That
How
seems
does he have?
that seems kind of high.
75? That does seem high. Also, you have to max it as well. All the counting stats.
Who's
need
at
max
77?
0.
Mark McGuire? Mark McGuire at 77 seems kind of right.
No, it seems fine to me.
So then
Shows you how crazy open tournaments is, though.
walks per 600. So now we do 600 times right-hand pitcher ratio times VR plus 600 times left-hand pitcher ratio times VL. And then K per 600. And then right-hand pitcher ratio times, 600 times VR plus left-hand pitcher ratio times 600 times VL. That's a lot of strikeouts. Okay.
I mean,
So
it's McGuire.
it's McGuire. So now where do I have this?
Walks are actually pretty neutral. It's kind of interesting. They're like a little higher.
Singles, doubles, BIP, hits minus home runs.
Yes, and then you have to do it out of 600 minus all the other outcomes, right?
So BIP on home runs. So then this is 600 minus Ks minus walks minus home runs.
Yep. I mean, theoretically, you should like have a -6 for hit by pitches in there, but it's basically correct, right?
Sure.
If you're not gonna minus hit by pitches from everything, just don't do it at all. It's not a big deal.
Okay. So now we want to find.
Those are high numbers. Why are those numbers so high?
For 600 plate appearances?
Yeah, those are way too high.
That's not.
Oh, that's all balls in play. Right,
yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, because I don't normally do it this way. I just go straight to Babbitt.
Yeah, that.
But I get what you're doing. What you're doing is fine. Yeah.
So then, it would be. Now this is the part. Would I do right-hand pitcher ratio times this times BABIP BR
You could do it
plus
times the
left-hand
rating?
times
I would just weight the rating here. But
times this.
everything looks high to you? It could be. This is old data too. So.
Well, this is BABIP percentage, so this doesn't make any sense.
Right. No, you're getting the number of hits. This is the number of hits, my friend. It's not BABIP percentage.
Oh, yeah. This is BIP hits. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just balls in play that are hits.
Okay, so balls and plays that are hits, and then from here we do.
You do the extra base hits, and then you do the triples, and then the leftovers doubles, and then the whole leftover is singles.
So again, this is where I'm probably doing something wrong, but I don't have time to fix it right now. And then
That's
times
the number of hits, and then towards the
BR
gap.
plus left-hand pitcher ratio times BIP hits times.
Yeah, that would seem more correct to me, Zadafo. The difference is like with November data, we're missing almost all the 120 movement pitchers. Like the highest movement pitchers are like 110, and there's very few good ones. So yeah,
triple.
for sure. Needs a data upgrade, but
Oh, so this is not extra base hit percentage. This is just extra base.
no,
hits.
that's just raw extra base hits, and then what you're
Right.
calculating is going to be raw triples, and it's just the triple percent of the extra base hit number.
And then,
Yep, and then the leftover of the extra base hits, extra base hits minus the triples is doubles.
Singles.
And you can either add the doubles and triples, or just take the extra base hits and subtract that out of the hits, and you have singles.
Yeah.
This
is
you did your
plus
stolen
600.
base rates. You need to do like you can do your actual stolen base hard numbers now.
These are all per 600.
Mhm.
And then so stealing base opportunities are basically this plus
Singles plus walks, really, is all it is. You can add 6 if you really want to.
And then stolen
You
base
run the SB 8% of the SB opportunities.
times SB 8%.
It's okay for it to be 0.
Base is equal to this times stolen base percentage. And then caught stealing is.
And that's the number of stolen bases. And then caught stealing is the inverse of that.
Stolen base attempts.
Or you can just do the leftover. You can just do. Yeah.
So now.
Now you have everything you need for WOBA.
So WOBA. So we had run environment. So we dump this into here. And then we go back to CardDB. And then except this is going to be times we don't have call that 6, but whatever. Times singles. Whoops. Singles times doubles times triples. Oops. Times home runs. And then this is just 600, right?
Yeah.
And then if we're going to add the run environment for these two data, so then we would add plus stolen bases. That's this value times this minus this value.
Wait, that's the wrong value. Stolen base attempts.
Plus
Not stolen bases. You're in the A.
base minus this value.
You didn't. Yeah, you have a minus, so you got it.
And then easy way to do this is we come here, we summarize pivot table, we call it a new worksheet. And then give me this, and I want to do card title versus WOBA. And we can sort top to bottom by WOBA.
By WOBA.
Mark McGuire, Babe Ruth, Frank Thomas, and then we can do some.
The only issue I see with this a little bit is that some players actually might get penalized for attempting steals and not stealing at a high enough success rate.
So yeah, we can look at.
So like you could like isolate and say like if the total product of stolen base plus minus stolen base is like less than 0, you just eliminate it, right?
Like if they're yeah.
Because if they're a negative base stealer, you're not going to run them anyway. Right. So.
Where is it? Card.
Would be my assumption.
So yeah, So now we can like say like who's the best second or who's the best catcher.
Yep.
And yeah, this all kind of makes sense.
Wow, what a surprise! Yeah, and there's a few things you could do to this, right? Like, you could either newer data, or you could implement kind of the opponent system I have, right? Where you can adjust for the current pitchers in the meta, which might be more beneficial to you, getting that set up, because then you don't have to constantly adjust things, right? But
to the left.
yeah.
I want to just see what the stolen base percentage is. Percent. So then this divided by that. Oh, I guess I already know what the stolen base percentage. I don't need this column.
You do have it, but
because basically what I want to see is like if we add their stolen base.
It's like one of those players is running at like a 62% clip. That's negative value right to his WOBA, whoever that was, for example.
Bagwell apparently is at like a 55% clip.
Well, we don't know if he's attempting though. That's the issue. We'd have to find. You'd have to also add the attempts percent, or the number of attempts, one of the two.
Yeah. So now.
Yeah. So only the guys who are attempting, but like you see, Brothers is losing value by stealing bases here. 50% clip running 33 times. Right. You know. So like obviously you would want to remove that from your WOBA.
There's actually not a lot of people. Well, I guess this is Ricky Henderson. Oh my god.
Oh, it's not even a good clip for Ricky, right? Oh no, it's a good clip for Ricky. So it's basically what it's saying is only Ricky. Oh no, you're not sorted. Can you sort by SB percent of guys with high SBA? No, that's complicated. There's a way to set it up, but you have to like manually turn it on.
Sort by. I could sort by stolen base percent and then
have a minimum SBA to qualify. Yeah, you could.
SBA of what, like 50?
Oh no, this is fine. Like anybody who's running, we want to look at basically. Like it doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, basically, like anybody below Brian McRae, you probably don't want to run with. Even Brian McRae, right? Might be bad, right? So.
Hold on. There we go.
No park factors in here. Park factors are funny because they're not like reducing home runs by from 1 to 0.9 does not make it a 10% reduction at home. They're very non-linear. But I don't actually have the data to solve that, so I'm not doing it.
Greg Jones.
Oh, wait, how do you color that way? What? In design?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
You turn off subtotals, you turn off... You missed it. I was going through it in the beginning of the stream.
Oh, wow. I can't see... When you click on your Excel, nothing pops up, like at the header to like do a drop-down. Nothing pops up on stream. But I had no idea. I'm going to be honest. I've been manually coloring my pivot tables for years.
Yeah, so this subtotal... grand total.
I do like having... I do need the subtotals on those, so that's a little unfortunate. Yeah. Or the grand total. Whatever the totals at the bottom are, I do need those on.
I would just do a different pivot table.
Do a separate table for coloring then?
Well, like, because you're using it for rank, right? But I don't think you need it for rank.
No, I need league totals for how I calculate some of the data. So.
Yeah, I would
have to make a separate pivot table for, like, pure observed purposes, which I could do.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could see even here, like, it doesn't have, like, Oscar being a great stealer or Hanlon. Like, a lot of these guys that people think are good base stealers are not. And catcher arm has gotten a lot better since November, too, right? So this might even be tougher in some scenarios.
Oscar. Why is he not on here?
No, he's there. He's number 23. Column 23.
Cool Papa Bell is better?
Yeah, I mean... So, sorting by stolen base percent, it's just the guy's stealing rating. It's that simple, right?
Yeah.
Cool Papa's got higher stealing than Oscar. Yeah, I would agree with this Xtoforas. Like, if I'm probably not playing Billy Hamilton in an open, so yeah, the only guy I would run with in an open tournament is Ricky. Absolutely. It's insightful. I didn't think Ricky would be good. I mean, obviously Ricky's good, but it's more like literally every other card is bad. Other than that, where's Beltran though? Beltran should be up here. Why is Beltran gone?
Is he not?
He's a right fielder, and
Right
he's got
fielder,
118 stealing.
I don't know.
Does it not think he's running? He was on here earlier. He's got 116 stealing and 90 speed.
40 stolen base attempts. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, it just doesn't think he goes enough?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because I've had this filtered on 50.
Beltran shouldn't be on any roster? No, but if you did have Beltran on a roster, you would steal bases with him. Absolutely. Oh, because you filtered it to 50. I forgot we did that, yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, he has low speed. But
so you should run Bill Keister.
I run Keister is one of the best bronze cards in the game. He is fantastic.
Keister and McRae.
If you are not running the 2 bronze cards on the screen, McRae and Keister and bronze, you need to be.
Jimmy Lyons?
No, never heard of that card. Success rate has something to do with speed. The thing is, like, I'm not entirely sure if it's like a mixed rating, but what card is butt in the field? Keister? It doesn't matter. He's crazy. Like, I have a bronze spreadsheet. It's in my Discord. It's online. I'm pretty sure you're in there, Mr. Audit. Keister is a mile better than every other second baseman VR. Oh, Keister means butt. I understand. I did not understand the old person joke. I am sorry.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kidneys.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, dude.
This has been fun. I'll probably just redo this all in Python and generate sheets and stuff that way, but I think...
Yeah, I mean, but you got the basis for it now. It's great.
Yeah. I think...
So.
Yeah. I'll have to go back. There was some bugs in my previous calculations with some of the... It's been like a bug that I've had the entire year, so I should probably go fix it.
Sometimes it's fun to go back and fix bugs and see what you would have played, if anything, differently. I remember... It's either myself or Snailman had a major bug one year, and we went back and we undid the bug and looked at old spreadsheets, and we were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, one of my... So when I was doing the run environment, this is how I have the run environment set up, and
yep.
I think one of these I had wrong, like FIP I had wrong. Because the way I have my data set up is it's a single pull across everything, because there's no splits, so there's no reason to do it. So like I have
it's a lot
like
easier in tournaments this way.
Pitcher data, like PBB versus PIBB, and then I have batter data.
You were confusing the two somehow.
So yeah, so it was like zeroing out stuff. Because in here like batters walks and whoops. Here are batters walks and intentional walks.
Josh, if I could find old data, I was actually thinking of doing that, because I probably have enough data for 22. I could stick that data into my 23 sheet and produce what were the best cards, and I bet there would be some surprising names on the list. Yeah, it did, Xtoforas, but I think, like, rerunning all the regressions and anything off, like, a similar pool. Obviously, the results would be different. I don't think it, like... I'm not running any order of operations or anything drastically different between 22 and 23. It would probably work, I think. Unless I'm wrong about that, but...
Alright. Let's see how my maze is doing. And then we'll call it. And I'll open these 5 packs and I'll call it quits.
Gotta open the packs on the stream for the stream look.
So Maze is batting a sweet 657 OPS.
Oh, that is suboptimal. But he's slugging a 270, so I don't think that's sustainable.
And he's minus 0.5 zone rating. You love to see
Well,
it.
the funny thing is, like, obviously right now Maze is, like, projected as the best defender ever in center field. There are going to be so many Mazes added to the game. It's just going to make every center fielder bad that's not Maze, right?
There's only 1, 2, 3, Or no, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
There's
6. And there's 6 in the
six.
E6 league.
That is true. It is one of the better leagues. I'll give you guys that. So maybe it won't be as much as I think, but I think certainly in the context of Perfect League, there'll be like 25 of these, right?
Yeah.
And it'll make Speaker basically unplayable, right?
All right, 5 packs.
If I can
Let's
have
see.
any card in the game that's not a champion card, it's probably just Cobb. I think it's Cobb.
For me, it would be
For
Ruth
league
or
play.
Otani.
Yeah, Ruth or Otani for tournaments certainly are up there. You're a Walsh away from Maze. Is the Walsh mission hard, EVC? He sells for nothing. So.
All right, 2 more packs. Let's pull another perfect.
EVC, literally everybody is Speaker, and then all the teams still playing will be Maze. That's what it's going to be.
Caesar Tovar.
Sean Murphy. I have Trammell still a ton better than Wagner, Mr. Black. I don't think it would have been worth to sell. The last one for you was the one you're farthest from? Gotcha. I just don't know if it's like, is it going to be a hard, like, are you going to need a few 100,000 to get Walsh or not? No, you don't DH Speaker. You just cut him for the team. If you have most of the cards, you'll have a backup center fielder, no problem. I mean, Mr. Black, you could still get a few mil for Trammell. I know plenty of people personally that would pay you a few million points for Trammell. Is it absolutely like a 2 million plus card? Absolutely. So no, missed. Oh, you've completely missed it. 500 KL10. Yeah, somebody passed an Alan Trammell. We're expecting. It's not a swindle. The guy who sold it knows what he's doing. So he passed the card to a friend. I'm expecting to see it in PTMS tomorrow. Yeah. If you want 2 million plus for Trammell, Mr. Black, DM me and I will get you a buyer. No problem. I'll get you a buyer. I know plenty of people who have told me they want to buy PTCS cards for a lot of money. So,
Send to reserve.
Dale, if you have Maze, I'd bench Speaker. If not, I'd bench B him.
I want to finish training Oscar in left field so that my
yeah,
outfield
that's
can
such a great thing to do. Oscar's such a good card.
no ball will ever fall in my outfield with Kaline, Mays, and Oscar.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know we were joking about you playing Hanlon in left field too, right? Just to have the perfect outfield.
Yeah, Trammell, Dickey, Kaline, Bagwell will still get a ton. No one is gonna pay me the 2.5 million that I've asked for Kaline, and especially not now with Mays in the game.
Are you sure you wouldn't get that much for K-Line? I feel like there has to be some endgame team playing righty cheese that wants an Al K-Line for right field. I feel like there has to be.
A 2.2
like
buy order. Really?
Oh, you know who that is? Is it off? Or I bet that's probably Doc Fury. Honestly, he's got a Tigers theme team, and he'd pay that much for K-Line. So yeah, there's a buy order. You can honestly just take it.
But the thing is, it's like
as good as it gets.
Yeah. Like Otani, there's no. Oh, there's a 6 million. Ooh, and there
600. One sold for 600 like 2 days ago, by the way, just for reference point.
No, I would.
Yeah, that's who I'm mentioning. EVC. Doc Fury would easily want him for that price. Yeah.
That's tempting. I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, send him a DM. I'm sure he'd talk with you about it. I would bet it's him. If not, he would also probably throw you a really good price for it too if it's not him. So you should DM him either way.
But it's my only achievement this year.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like if you want to sell it, you got to figure out what you would do with the money and all that. But I think anybody who wants righty cheese absolutely wants this card on the roster. It's a great card. So you could get 2 million for this, and I think Mr. Black, you would easily get 2 mil for Trammell. I think you could get probably a mil or two more than that. I would not be shocked. Everybody knows what all the cards in the game is now, and it's like, you know what you want. So obviously Trammell's the best shortstop, and people will pay a premium for it. So
It's surprising that like the distribution of PTCS cards because
You
like
what? Oh, you mean
K-Line's
like
good, Tramel's good, but like the pitching has been kind of surpassed. I
yeah?
would
The
say
issue with
like
the pitching is
Kershaw's
I
still
think
probably okay, right?
he is, but it's just because lefties are so bad.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I would play Kershaw anymore. I don't think so. Can you pull up the card for me? I probably wouldn't play it. I think the movement is just too low.
It's
Um,
close. He's a bullpen piece.
99 is too low, I think, in this meta. I don't think I would even consider that actually right now. I think I would rather play like Valenzuela or Newhouser or anybody else that has more movement. Carlton is good. I would play Carlton out of the pen if I had a Carlton. Absolutely. The problem with uh, Kershaw and Drysdale is pitchers got power creeped harder than everything by a ton, right?
Yeah.
Like, go look at. I mean, Greg Maddux has like, he's got 20 movement on Kershaw. You just can't play Kershaw in that environment when everybody has a Maddux. So.
Yeah. He's got 20 movement.
Yeah, the Maddox is ridiculous. I mean, even and there's other cards too with even more movement, like Gooden and Nolan Ryan and
Duffy? Duffy kind of has fallen off.
I think
You
Duffy
could play
is
him in the
prob.
corners.
I guess in left field he's like a worse Ricky that plays defense. He's okay. He's not terrible. If you're playing righty cheese, he's definitely still a legit option. So.
And then I'd say Dickey's better than Yogi, and so
Oh
yeah.
no, Dickey is arguably as good as Gibson, I think, just because of how righty heavy the meta is. Dickey is still insane.
And then Bagwell.
Yeah, Dickey's still great. Bagwell still is good. Obviously, he's pretty new. K-Line's great. So yeah, pretty much everything but like Duffy, Drysdale, Kershaw, which to be fair are three of the older ones I would pay a premium for, right? So.
Drysdale kind of felt. Oh no, Drysdale still plays.
No, Drysdale's awful. There are 40k cards better than that. Righties are way better than lefties. Like you have to realize that. There's so many options better than Drysdale. Like even looking at the list without Gagne and Smoltz, I would put Drysdale as like righty number 15. Like I'm not paying a premium for right-handed pitcher number 15, It's not happening.
You think you need to be like 110 or above VR movement?
Yeah, league average movement and perfect is like 110 based off like plate.
Looking at this, it's like John Smoltz is my worst, and I'm just playing John Smoltz for the memes.
Well, John Smoltz is a cheap card that's really splitty, so he's like okay in some scenarios. To me, he looks like a Pud Galvin, but with reverse Pud Galvin. He's a reverse Pud Galvin, is what John Smoltz is. He's certainly nowhere near like Bobby Matthews or Walter Johnson or any of the other good cards, but.
Well, I think like stuff is.
Yeah, Nolan.
Not very good.
I will say Nolan had a really bad week. Not with Stuff. I think Stuff is still pretty valuable. His control just kind of got under him last week, so I kind of gotta say, I gotta see if Nolan is gonna be playable or if he just had a bad week.
Nolan did not.
I think
do
in
well
Diamond I would
perfectly.
absolutely play Nolan though. I would absolutely play this card in Diamond, no question about it.
I should probably put him back in.
Yeah, I would say he's better than Smoltz for sure. So, out of the cards you have, Smolt's probably the weakest one, right?
Right now.
I don't remember if Bobby Matthews is good or bad in the pen, but he's okay. I definitely don't think Pudge should be in your rotation.
He's been positive every.
He's been good, yeah. I could see it. He's got, the one big pitch and all that. I would just have to look at observed recently, and I only have a week, so.
Gagne, good. Mo, good. Nando, kind of silly.
He's not great, but he's still one of the better lefties. So, like, if you want a lefty in a pen, he's a pretty reasonable option.
Well, it's him or Franco, right?
No, Franco's way better. That's not close. If you're only playing one lefty, it should absolutely be Franco. It's not even comparable, really.
I am doing 11 pitchers though.
You have enough starters in the bullpen, it's not going to matter. 19 stamina is a lot for reliever. Because remember, starters when they're in the bullpen get their stuff converted or stamina converted down. I'm not sure exactly what it ends up being, but no, you should absolutely be playing Franco over Valenzuela.
Yeah. If I sold K-Line, I'd go pick up Randy, Lee, and Lefty Grove. And Shohei and Ruth.
Yeah, I mean, really the only playable ones, like, if we're talking, like, the world, everybody has the best team, you're in perfect league, Randy, Lee, and Grove, and Franco are the best ones, right? Grove also had a really bad week last week, but I'm not sure entirely what I would do. Randy has played very well up out of the pen, and Cliff Lee was terrible last week in perfect out of the pen. Like, I think he was the worst qualifying pitcher. So something obviously was wrong, but because historically he's very good. He just had a really bad week last week, but it's a good card.
Okay.
The crazy thing is, like, Leah's a decent card, but like if you compare him to like righty number 10 or 11, like they're still better. It's crazy the split.
Let's look at Mac Jack's team, who
Yeah,
almost has every card. Lee,
almost. He's close to it.
Mo, Gagne,
I mean, it's Jack's team. It's almost always fine.
Yogi, Josh, Bagwell.
Oh, that's interesting, Isadoff. I wonder if it was finally bad last week for some reason, because he was my worst qualifying relief pitcher. So, unobserved. Oh, he has a Bagwell. How much you pay for that? I didn't know that.
That's kind of crazy.
Oh, cool.
It's
Yeah, that is
recent.
cool.
He just bought it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he had to. I did not even hear about one selling. I normally hear about stuff like that. It's a good card. I'm actually surprised he can roster it and Frank. That seems a little lefty heavy. It's sold for $3 million. See, that's a fair price for a championship card, right? Not 500K. So $3 million is totally fair. At this
You're
point
in disagreement with Collins, but he's been solid.
Oh, he's a terrible card. This card is so bad. Nobody should play this card.
Brett,
This card's awful.
Schmidt, A-Rod.
If that's the price, though, Trammell and Dickey are $5 million, yeah, and I agree, Zadafo, because there's no other cards coming out. Like, we know Trammell and Dickey are the best cards you can get, right? Totally agree with that. So
Let's see the stolen bases. Probably
he
needs
is
to,
not aggressive enough. He is
Yeah.
way too conservative with this card.
yeah, needs to
And that's coming from me. I'm like one of the most conservative people you can find, so.
He's got a good
Now,
maze.
Mac Jackson is great. He's always got one of the best teams in the game. It's been that way for forever.
His Cobb is going nuts. Nutso.
Oh, yes, it is. Wow.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for
All right.
coming.
Yeah, good stream,
Thanks,
dude.
thanks,
for having me on.
Kidneys. Hope you all
Anytime.
learned how to